This week's Parsha, we learn about the Jews coming forward and contributing their raw materials for the construction of the Mishkan in the desert. Moshe had made a solicitation towards the Bnei Yisrael, the Israelites, and he says, I want everyone to contribute their gold, their silver, their wool, etc. towards the construction of the Mishkan, the tabernacle in the desert. So how successful was this fundraising campaign? The Torah tells us it was very successful. Indeed, there was an excess of materials donated for what was needed for the construction of the Mishkan. But the way how the Torah phrases it seems to be somewhat contradictory. The Torah says, "V'hamalacha haisa dayam," it was enough, meaning the contributions were just enough for the construction of the Mishkan. And then in the next breath, the Torah says, "V'hoser," there was an excess. So what was it? Was there an excess, or was there just enough raw materials donated for the construction of the Mishkan? The Or HaChaim answers something very interesting, and I think that tells us something very powerful in our daily interactions with people. The Or HaChaim says, in fact, there was this miracle because there was this excess of funds, of raw materials, of resources that were donated for the Mishkan. And some of it was not necessary for the construction of the Mishkan because of that excess. But God made this miracle, and He incorporated all of the raw materials that were donated into the construction of the Mishkan. For what purpose? For the purpose that no one should feel bad that they made a contribution, that they made a donation, that they gave something and it wasn't needed and it wasn't necessary for the construction of the Mishkan. This was all to show how important the feelings are for each and every person in the eyes of God. Folks, I think the lesson is loud and clear for us. We are supposed to emulate God's ways in this world. We are supposed to act with B'Tselem Elokim. If God went out of His way to make this miracle, to have everybody's contributions incorporated for the construction of the Mishkan, how much so are we supposed to go ahead and make everybody feel validated when they come forward with a good idea or a contribution or just to have their presence validated? How important are we supposed to make people feel? We have so many opportunities to lift people up and to make them feel important. I think that's a wonderful lesson to emulate from this week's Parsha. Have a wonderful Shabbos.